When it comes to names, Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 3, is one of the most unnecessarily long names ever. Thankfully, the game isn't as unnecessary as its name. The third installment in the series, Monster Energy Supercross 3, takes pretty much everything from last year's release and attempts to improve them in various ways. In some parts it succeeds, while other areas just seem like a straight copy job. The game features an improved physics engine that feels pretty good for the most part. Bikes interact well with the track below, though it's quite weird that you can land at a sideways angle and have no issues continuing on whatsoever. No matter the skill level, I found myself able to turn during a jump, land at a 90-degree turn, and carrying on my merry way. Another small gripe I have with the physics engine is that there are times where you can just bounce off the top of another rider after a jump with no one crashing at all. It's kind of unrealistic if you ask me. But at the end of the day, hitting the various jumps feels amazing when done right, and the different terrains play a nice role in the overall control of your bike as you ride. And if you're worried about the AI being too slow or easy, don't. It's pretty easy to tackle on the lower difficulties, but it does provide a nice challenge the harder you make the game for yourself. What's best is that it does this without ever feeling unfair. You'll have to earn everything you get on the track. Speaking of tracks, the game features 17 officially licensed AMA Supercross tracks, all of which look identical to their real-life counterparts. What makes these tracks so special is that they all have to be learned. No two tracks are the same, and if you're not prepared, you can find yourself falling apart in a race thanks to not knowing how to properly attack a specific section on a course. Other courses in the game include 9 different compound tracks that all have their own unique style to them, and if none of those courses whet your palate, then take yourself to the track editor and test your talents at creating the best tracks possible. As far as modes go, the game remains pretty deep for fans of the sport. The career mode is pretty straightforward in both good and bad ways. The mode sees players start at the compound as a male or for the first time ever female rider, with the sole goal being to impress various teams enough to give you a shot. From there, you either sign with a team or go the sponsor route instead, like a lone wolf without a pack. After spending some time in the lower 250 East or West League, you'll finally get the chance to go to the big leagues, the 450 AMA Supercross Series. Again, it's straightforward, but the mode is enjoyable enough that you'll want to work your way to becoming the best rider on the circuit. I'd be lying, however, if I didn't admit the disappointment in taking out things like challenges to break up the monotony that some may feel from doing race after race after race. Other modes available are single events, time attack, championship mode, the compound, and challenge mode. Some are more fun than others, but most, unfortunately, are pretty much cut and paste jobs from Monster Energy Supercross 2. And if you want to take the game online, there are dedicated servers for the first time in series history, which worked pretty well during my time with the multiplayer. Visually, the game looks just as good as the last two. The bikes look and sound authentic, and there's something about watching your clothes flap as you ride that's just so satisfying. Pre- and post-race presentation is pretty top-notch as well, but it would still be nice to see some sort of dialogue during the races, especially within career mode. Monster Energy Supercross 3 is another good installment in the series. The races are fun, the tracks are authentic, and the modes are enjoyable. The only problem is that it feels like much of the same with no major leaps. If you have yet to get on the Supercross bandwagon, this is definitely a game worth picking up, but if you played or owned last year's installment, there's really not a reason to make the $60 jump. For more Monster Energy Supercross 3 and sports gaming content daily, subscribe to Sports Gamers Online and hit that bell to be notified whenever a new video goes live, and visit our website at sportsgamersonline.com.